We have 3 Photoshop lessons today. You're going to go to File, Open in Photoshop, go to Commercial Photography. Your Photoshop Lessons folder has these 3 pictures. We need flower, goaltenders yell, and golf. Let's start with flower. First, I want to crop it as a square. Click the rectangular marquee tool. Click and drag a box about the shape of a square around it. Then go to Image, Crop. Then go to Filter, Blur, Radial Blur. Make sure the amount is around the early 20s, 20, 21, 22, something like that, and click OK. It adds this spinning filter to it, giving some movement to an otherwise static picture. File, save a copy, call this Sunflower Copy Done, and then turn that in on Schoology under Radial Blur. Next, goaltenders. It's important to listen to these instructions or put it on closed captioning because you won't be able to see everything I'm doing. Same tool, rectangular marquee tool. We're going to select a strip of pixels or parts of the image about this wide. You can always redraw this box if you need to, but go from the top of her hat to about the bottom of her boot. Then let go. A nice strip of pixels has been selected. Edit copy or Control C. Edit paste or Control V. You didn't see anything happen here because it's such a thin layer. Click on layer 1 because we're going to move it. Move tool. Look down at your keyboard. You have up, down, left, and right arrow keys. Hold down the left arrow key. You're going to see that layer move over, just a strip of pixels. Get it about where the letter E is, about here. On your keyboard, hold down Control, the CTRL key on the bottom left. Then the letter T for transform, Control T. Once it has these boxes around it, hold down your Shift key. And as I hold my mouse over these boxes right here, you see the left and right arrow keys. While holding down Shift, drag these pixels this way and drag the other part about halfway over her face. So between her eye and her nose, right about there. Then click the check mark. Next, I'm going to switch these 2 layers. To do that, I have to first double click background to make it an editable layer. Click OK. Now I can switch these 2. I've now hidden those pixels behind the original photo. You have to choose layer 1 because we're about to start cleaning up the stretched pixels. While layer 1 is highlighted or grayed out over here, choose your eraser tool. And your size of your eraser can be made bigger and smaller. You can do that up here, but I like the shortcut of using the bracket next to the letter P on my keyboard. The one closest to the letter P makes it smaller. The one further away makes it bigger. I'm going to get it about the size of her face. While I have layer 1 selected, because I don't want to mess up my background, layer 0, I'm just going to click on top of her hat, her hair, her arm, and you're not going to see anything happening just yet. But what's going on is while I am on layer 1, I'm erasing those pixels that are on top of her. Let's see how we're doing. Switch these 2 back. Okay, I can do a little cleanup over here. I can switch them back. Again, have to be back on layer 1, otherwise I start erasing her. I'm just going to do a little bit more cleanup to make sure those pixels are on top of her are gone. And I'm going to flip them back. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I kind of messed up right here. I can go back if I wanted to and erase some more. But we're trying to make those pixels, or parts of the picture, look like they're streaming behind her as if she's zipping by so fast, she's dragging those pixels along with her. Once it looks a little something like this, File, save a copy, call it Goaltenders Yell Copy Done, turn that in on Schoology under the straight pixel stretch. For the third and final part, we're going to use the golf picture. Normally, I would like to use a much more colorful picture here. When you do your jump project and do this, the more colorful the outfit or the background or whatever you're going to stretch, the more colorful it is, the better it turns out. This one's kind of drab, but you'll be okay. All right, first, we are going to select, like we did on Goaltenders Yell with the rectangular marquee tool, just part of her shirt. So about where that logo is, here down, about the same width again. Edit copy, edit paste. This time we're going to move it to the right. So take your right arrow key and move that over so we can see it over here. That's going to be layer 1. Then click on background, which is your golfer. we're going to select subject. It takes a minute, and when it selects her, it's going to forget to get the club. We're going to add that. We have her, now we need to add the club. Click and hold down over here. You may see Object Selection Tool. Choose Magic Wand. This is Add, this is Take Away. Choose the two solid boxes. Click on the tip of the golf club, and now we have golf club and her. Once you select her, we're going to go down to this menu over here. It looks like a rectangle with a black dot in the middle. Click that. This is the masking tool. Then select the circle that's half black, half white, and go to solid color. You can choose any color you want here. We can even change this later if you want to. I'm going to make it red just for fun. Then click OK. Now we can drag this color underneath. It's her, and then layer 1, which is the strip. Let's work with that strip now. Click on layer 1. Same as we did with goaltenders, hold down the Control key on your keyboard, then the letter T for transform. Now hold down your Shift key on your keyboard so you can start stretching this left and right. Go to the left, go to the right, all the way across this time, not just one way. Choose the check mark. Now we're going to distort this circular instead of just straight. Filter, distort, polar coordinates. Make sure regular to polar is selected and click OK. So it's made a circular shape out of that. Next, we're going to drag this circle underneath her. And then we are going to, I think you can transform this one, Control T. Sure, let's make this one a little bit smaller. Okay. And next we are going to, while we're on layer 1, we're going to take our eraser tool. I want to make it look like, she's swinging that golf club and dragging those pixels. So I'm going to delete everything here. Remember, we can make this a lot bigger by clicking that bracket away from the letter P. Delete, 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 delete all of this. Okay. If yours didn't have this nice arch to it, it's supposed to, you can delete that as well. If this was your picture, I would have you spend a lot more time making this a lot prettier, but we're going for the concept here. Okay, so now it looks like those pixels have been stretched as she's swinging that golf club. We have a layer color. If you want to change your mind about the layer color, you can click here and change it under solid color if you wanted to, but I'm going to stick with red. All right, again, when you do your jump picture, one of your 3 jump pictures has to be with the pixel stretch. It can be straight, it can be circular. You can try other things under filter distort, kind of like this twisted one if you wanted to. On your finished golf picture, file, save a copy. Call this one golf copy done, and turn that in on Schoology. You have 3 photos to turn in today.